Good morning, and in this video I want to talk about why your emails are simply not hitting the inbox. Now, in all of the conversations I'm having with companies week on week, one of the most common things I see, observe, and hear is the fact that many emails are supposedly being sent out, but the company and the client is simply not getting the response that they would want, hope, and expect. Now, in some cases, they're not getting barely any responses at all. And in other cases, they're getting very few, maybe 2 or 3 responses per month or 2 or 3 meetings per month. And that's simply not going to be enough for most people to be able to scale their organization. So why is that and what can be done? Now, cold email especially has become more complex than ever before in the current market, because as more and more sales reps just load up, platforms such as a SalesLoft or an Outreach or these types of platforms that allow you to send email sequences, what sales reps are doing, and often companies doing, is they're just getting their teams wrapped up on it, connecting a Gmail account, creating a sequence and pressing send. Now, what they're not realizing is that ultimately you're sending cold emails. You're sending emails that have not necessarily been opted into from the other end. Now, because of that, there is more complication around actually making that email successfully land in an inbox. So what I'll sometimes see is a prospect will show me their existing accounts and their dashboards, and they say, well, Alex, we've sent 10,000 emails this month or this quarter. But then I go and I look a little bit further and I see they've got a 15% bounce rate. Their deliverability is horrific. And ultimately what's happening is they've sent 10,000 messages, but 9,990 of them have simply hit a spam inbox. So ultimately the person at the other end has not seen the message. So then that just completely demolishes your concept of an ROI. And it means that you don't actually have a system that's working effectively. So some of the things that you need to consider is, again, because email has become more complex, you need to take the time to do things such as what we call warming up inboxes. So this is a 2 to 3 week process typically, where in essence what's happening is between various different email inboxes, there's test messages and a certain type of messaging being sent back and forth, and it creates this impression to Google and to Microsoft that this is actually a, let's say, real inbox that's sending real activity, and it builds up that trust and domain reputation, so that raises the propensity and the likelihood that your email will actually hit the inbox. In addition to that, you need to actually take the time to have a proper infrastructure set up for email. If you just simply have one email account, ultimately what can happen is over time that email account can burn. The reputation starts to get cannibalized. People might be marking the message as spam. There's other things that can go into this. And over time that domain can start to take a hit. So if you're not doing something we call domain rotation or inbox rotation, where you're starting to change the accounts that you're using and having a little bit more of a rotation mechanism, then you're always going to ultimately get to a point where your inbox is getting tainted, so to speak. And the more that it gets tainted and its reputation gets harmed, the higher the likelihood that you're no longer going to be able to hit the inbox. So you've got to be much more thoughtful about your strategy, certainly in 2024, to put you in a position where your campaigns can actually be successful. I've only really been able to scratch the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, in this video, because there's so much more to it, and it really requires a level of depth of knowledge and understanding. So if you could do with any support with any of this, do reach out to me. Go on my profile on LinkedIn. You'll see a big box that says Let's Scale. Click on that, hit the view button and schedule a call with us, or simply visit www.fetched.ai. That's www.fetched.ai. Scroll down to the bottom and schedule a call, and we can walk you through how we would go about an auditing process to really understand why your emails aren't hitting the inbox or why you're not having the success that you need. And then we can walk you through a bit of a game plan as to how you can turn that situation around for yourself and your business. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.